All right, hello everyone. Welcome. We're gonna go over the hackathon project, the Yansa Elegant Summarizer, also known as Project Yes. Start off by introducing our team. So on the left over here, we have Dalton Meaties, and he is a product engineer at Yansa. There's me here, the project leader. That's Nate Anderson, running the project here and helping get this all sorted. And then we've got Reese Polson, who is another great engineer that we have on our team. Last but not least, our UI wizard, Ailey, who was a huge help with working with Reese on getting the now experience UI that we have built for this. So what Project Yes is a way to use the generative AI functionality in ServiceNow to summarize data within the platform. So our use case that we'll show you guys today has to do with summarizing release notes out of the story data that we create when we go through our normal software development life cycles projects. So, again, the goal we're trying to solve here is, maybe at the close of a project or release, there's a lot of time and effort spent on going through the release, all the stories, all the stuff you've built and generating release notes from that. Or if you've done a good job over time or managed to maintain decent, information in your stories, you'll be able to generate release notes for it. So here you can see we're leveraging the agent workspace wrapper on the Now experience. And in the background, we've kind of connected together some story data out of our own environment. So it's a little bit real-time based here. And then we gather that up and send that through the generative AI functionality, asking it to perform some action on it. So the default one that we have is to have it generated in the form of release notes. But we also have the ability to have a prompt here, and you can also ask it to generate it in different ways. So here we can see just a basic summary of that data. We can see our projects came back here. So one of the other things I can do here is say, may I have this in the form of release notes? Now we might run into the rate limit API. We did find out that there's about 3 requests per minute that can be made. So if this returns back no results, and if you guys end up testing this and it returns back no results, that's likely what's going on there. So as silly as it sounds, count to 60 and try again. So hopefully we'll get some meaningful data out of here with this next round. In the meantime, we're waiting for it. So other ideas that we've had for this is taking it beyond just the simple use case and actually having it be configurable. So if customers pull this off the ServiceNow store, they'd be able to target any data within their platform using the ServiceNow condition builders and basically rapid configurable UI around it. We've also considered external data sources such as Twitter, and kind of an example use case there would be summaries over time, or a kind of a rolling summary where in the background you can pre-configure on a time frame the prompt you want to give it and then the data source you want to use for that. So it'll actually, for example, pull a bunch of Twitter posts based on pre-configured hashtags and a configuration setting and pull that information back from Twitter and store that, and then just kind of have a rolling summaries you could look at as like a digest for an entire day worth of Twitter information. So we can see here it came back with nothing. Again, this is probably that rate limit. One of the other things we've tested was generating an Shakespearean, so we'll try that here and see if it's been enough time in order to get that information out. So let's say Shakespearean English and see if it gives us some good information back here. The repetitive calls we're making to the API, it does take about 15 seconds or so to generate it here. So wait for this one last time and see if it gives us that information back. And, if not, you guys can interact with it and kind of sort out those time periods. But again, so the goal here is to make the life easier, not just on the developers that have to maybe work with the writing and technical engineers that write up the release notes and come up with the prettified information, but also for the customers, right? So release notes being a big part of software development that often gets overlooked or doesn't usually have enough detail in it. And we can see here where we actually got back some release notes in the form of Shakespearean English, right? Hark, hear ye, hear ye. We bring it these tidings of updates grand. So you can totally have fun with it if you want, and ask it all sorts of stuff, and it'll digest that. And again, it's So to give some background on what's going on here is it's actually connected to through an integration over to one of Yansa's instances that actually has some good story data out of our system that was just easy to pull for real world context of information. So we pull that in, we parse it all out into more of a text string, pulling the descriptions and information out of those stories, and then we pass that along to the ChatGPT summarizer, and that's it. And here based on the project. So thank you for your time. I hope you guys enjoy it and have fun, getting this thing to spit out some crazy release notes for you.